thank you for taking this workshop, and welcome and congratulations on taking the first step in your no-code journey. I'm Kamal. I'm the founder of Zero Code Club and Product Ivy. I'm a solopreneur. What does that mean? It means that I run a one-person business. I built my own web application. I built my mobile application. I set up complex email automation and sales funnel. I also created various workflow automations to take away all that manual work from me. And I set up Google Analytics, Hotjar to observe and understand users so that I can modify my business accordingly. Sounds very complex? It isn't. Thanks to no-code tools. No-code tools have evolved tremendously in the last few years. 2019 was set to be the year of no-code when they exploded in their capabilities. And we are in 2022. So no-code tools have become a lot more mature and a lot more usable. So in this workshop, we're going to do three things. First, we'll understand what exactly is no-code. We look at the foundations of no-code tool development, how to go about choosing your no-code tool, and what is really possible using no-code. Second, no-code is all about building quickly. So I will build a really cool application right in front of you and show you what is really possible with no-code real time. And third, for those of you who are interested and want to acquire the skill of development using no-code and want to build your own online product, I'm going to talk to you about my program, the no-code cohort, which is a 4-week cohort. I'll tell you exactly what I'll cover in each of these weeks and what are the benefits that you get by becoming a member of Zero Code Club. So let's start with step number 1, which is understanding about what exactly is no-code. So what is no-code? No-code tool development is essentially creating complex mobile and web applications by dragging and dropping reusable components, something like putting together a Lego or a jigsaw puzzle. It is ideal for non-technical entrepreneurs like you and me, or ideal for founders who want to go to market quickly to validate their ideas without paying for that technical developer to develop that application. So first up, why no code? If you build your startup from scratch the traditional way, you'd need to do the following things. First, you need to have a business plan, and then you need to find a technical founder who can help you build that business plan into a functioning product. And then you need to define the software architecture. And once you've built it, you need to do ongoing maintenance. You also need to worry about security so that your system is safe and secure and is not vulnerable to hacking. And finally, you need to build and deploy it in an infrastructure, typically a cloud-based system, and implement the solution in the market. So all of this is going to take a lot of time, a lot of cost, and a lot of technical expertise. But the problem is, data tells us that 90% of startups fail, and most of them fail because they don't have a product market fit. But if you had to test out your idea, and if you had to go through all those different phases, you already incurred significant time and significant effort and cost, things that you can no longer recover because your startup wasn't having the product market fit. So people tell that you should instead build MVPs so that you can go to market faster with your minimum viable product, so that you can test out if that product is viable before you actually build it. But the problem is, in order to build your MVP, that is that initial first version of your product, that still needs to go through all those other phases that we talked about earlier. So it is relatively efficient, but not efficient enough, especially if you're an entrepreneur who's short on cash. That's why no code helps. Now, what are the steps involved if you actually went ahead and built the same product using no code tools? First, you need a business plan. You cannot do anything without a business plan. And second, you need to identify a lean development methodology, right? Which is build fast, go to market, get feedback, and iterate on the product. And third, instead of searching for that technical co-founder, you can go ahead and build your MVP. So you can really go to market faster and get your feedback. And if your product isn't successful, or if you don't find that product market fit, you can pivot or drop that idea altogether with very less effort and time and money spent on building your product. That's why no-code tools are a boon to non-technical entrepreneurs and early stage entrepreneurs who want to build internet online products. Now, how do they work? I'm going to show you 3 quick examples. I'm going to call them recipes. Let's say you want to build a marketplace like Expedia for the tourism sector. Now you can put together multiple no-code tools and create the same experience very quickly and go to market faster. For example, you can use Software for your front-end application, Airtable for your back-end application, Stripe for collecting payments from your users, MailerLite for setting up their sales funnel and email automation, and Zapier for any other workflow related tasks. So you can put together all of these things without writing a single line of code and create a neat little application that you can test in the market. And if it succeeds, you continue and scale. Let's take another example. Let's say you want to build an application like Coursera. Here again, you can use Software for your front end, Airtable for your back end, Loom Videos or YouTube for hosting your videos, MailerLite for email automation, and Zapier for workflow automation. So this is just one recipe. You can of course replace Software with Webflow, or replace Airtable with Google Sheets, or replace YouTube with Vimeo, and so on. So there are multiple different options of no-code tools available. Okay, let's take one more example just to drill that idea to you. Let's say you want to build a fitness application, but a mobile application. So in this case, you might want to choose a no-code tool specifically meant for mobile development like Adalo or maybe Glide, and use Stripe for collecting payments and Loom for hosting of videos of the workout sessions, or YouTube for videos. So with this collection of 3 no-code tools, you really quickly build applications and to go to market faster. So now that you understood what is possible with no-code, let's talk a little bit about the development principles for no-code. Even though you're building applications without any code, you still need to think like a developer. And I'm not saying think in terms of complex algorithms. Think in terms of how your system should be designed. So fundamentally, any application, especially no-code applications, are going to be built with 3 different blocks. One, the front end, which is the UI, where users interact with your system, and then the back end, or the database, where you store the data that you want to display to the user in the front end, or store user provided data. So you need a database. Third, you need to set up workflows. So as user interacts with your system, how should the system behave? How can you integrate the front end and the back end? These 3 components are what are the fundamentals of any no-code tool. To summarize, you need the UI, you need to find a way for integrating the front end with the back end, and configure the different workflows. So you need to choose tools for each of these different layers, and that's what we call the tool stack. So now, how do you choose the ideal tool for your UI, the ideal tool for your backend, an ideal tool for your workflow? Having developed plenty of no-code applications the past few years, I would say it all boils down to 3 core critical items. If any no-code tool doesn't tick all of these boxes, then you probably shouldn't be using the no-code tool. For example, the first one is ease of use. Now, as non-technical entrepreneurs, we would want the no-code tool to be very easy to learn, right? If you had to spend 3 to 4 months learning a tool, then you lose all of the advantages of going to market fast and being able to develop with little technical expertise. So the first thing is the tool should be easy to learn. For example, I started with Bubble and Webflow. They were excellent no-code tools, but they have a very steep learning curve. On the other hand, Software, Adalo, Glide, they are all tools which are equally capable and solve most of the common use cases, but are very easy to learn and get up and running quickly. So ease of use is a very critical factor. The second one is availability of integration. Now, no no-code tool is going to live in isolation. As we have just seen, you have a different tool for the front end, a different tool for the back end, and a different tool to configure the workflows. Now, the tool that you choose should integrate and be able to interact with any of the different tools in the no-code ecosystem. So, second thing that you need to check is, does the tool support integrations with the other tools that I want out of the box? Or if not, does it at least have integrations with at least one of the workflow automation tools like Zapier or automation.io and so on? So availability of integration is another key factor. Now, third important factor is custom code option. Now, I know I've been talking about no-code tools all the while, but what is this custom code? Let us say you encounter a unique use case for your application that the no-code tool doesn't solve. Then you shouldn't really be stuck there, right? So custom code allows extending your tool's capabilities by using simple JavaScripts, and you don't have to write the JavaScripts yourself. There are JavaScripts available. You can just copy and paste and extend the tool's capabilities. The only thing that you should check for is, does your tool provide custom code option? So these are, in my opinion, the three key important factors that should go into choosing any no-code tool. If any of the tool doesn't tick even one of these boxes, then I'd recommend don't choose that tool. Now at Zero Code Club, we provide a directory of no-code tools that you can use under Discover section. Now these are all tools that we have used and we think are good enough. So you can filter and choose the tool of your choice quite easily. For example, if you're looking for a no-code tool specifically for mobile development, then you just filter for mobile and get the list of no-code tools. We'll also tell you what tools we actually recommend for you. Or instead, if you know at the top of your mind as to what exactly you're building, are you building a marketplace or are you building a directory website, then just choose the option at the top and we'll give you the tool stack that you should use, that you can use for developing your application. Now, no-code tools are the rage in the market right now. So to give you a quick inspiration, these are some of the tools that have been built by founders, non-technical entrepreneurs like you and me, and acquired by other bigger companies. Lister, for example, was a no-code tool that was developed in October, launched in Product Hunt in November, and acquired in December very quickly. So it is an application that lists all of the Twitter lists in a directory for fashion. And if you wanted to build a similar application, it's not going to take you any more than a few weeks. That's the power of no-code. Now that you understood what is no-code and what are the benefits of no-code, let's now see how easy it is going to be building a no-code application. We're going to see a quick demo of an application that I'm going to be building in the next few minutes. And then you'll realize anybody can actually build using no-code. And that's the tagline of Zero Code Club. In this video, we're going to see how to create a professional looking website like this completely using no-code tools. So what is this application about? This application is about tracking your own stock portfolio. So it has a login screen, and if we log into the screen, we'll be able to see the list of all the stocks that we bought with the icons against it as a list. You can search against it, and then when you click to drill down, you'll see the current market information of the specific stock. What's the current price, what was the high of the day and the low of the day. You'd also be able to see what is your investment. You purchased 100 stocks of it at 45 as buy price, so this is your overall investment and this is your current market value. And what is your profit and loss based on your investment. Not just that, you'll also be able to add new stocks based on your purchase on a specific day for a specific price, and once you add them, this is going to get added as one more entry at the bottom. So all of this can really be very easily be created within about half an hour using a tool called Glide Apps, and that's what we're going to see in this video. So let's go ahead and log into our Glide app. All right. Now, first up, we need to create the backend database. So let's name it as My Stock Portfolio, and then we need to add the details that we want here. All right, so I have populated the data with a few details of the stocks. So here we have Apple, Netflix, Google, Meta, and Amazon. So now let's bind this Excel sheet or Google sheet in the front end for Glide Apps. So here let's go ahead and say new project, and then let's add it asks an option of mobile or a web page. let's go ahead and select mobile. And here I'm going to say my portfolio tracker. And this app, where is this going to be primarily used on? It's going to be used on phone. So I'm going to hit continue. And here they have three options to choose your database. In our case, we have chosen Google Sheets, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now, once you do that, it's going to connect to your Google Drive and then ask which sheet do you want to create. I'm going to choose my stock portfolio, which we just created. And it's going to create a new app for us to view. So by default, once you link your Google Sheets with your Glide apps, it automatically creates a list view based on the column in your spreadsheet. So the first column is what is being added there as a list. And then when you drill down, it shows the other details of your app. This can be further improved. So let's see how we can do that. Now let's go ahead and update this specific application. So first up, I don't think we have enough information here because this just shows the exchange and what is this stock about. We probably need more here. We might need more details. So I'm going to say edit list, and this is the data that we want to display on the front end. So first we might want to show the current price of the stock as well, and we might want to show how much is the volume, or we might want to show how much of quantity of stock we currently own in this particular stock. And there is also the option of displaying the image against this particular stock, but we haven't added images till now, but let's see how that can be added later. Let's drill down. So here it shows all of the details of that stock. We might want to make it more better and segment them a little bit more in detail. So let me go ahead and remove all of this. Now I'm going to click plus, and this shows all of the possible components that you can add in this page, right? So you can add links, you can add that favorite button, you can add texts, actions, and like buttons, and a lot of things you can add here. But for our purposes, let's add a simple table. And here I'm going to give a title for this table. This is going to be the current market information. Okay, and then the data for this is going to be that's fine. We want to give the stock information, and then we might want to show the current price. Right, and then we might want to show the high. So we're just going to say today's high. And then we might want to show the low. And then we might want to show the volume, total volume. All right, and then let's go ahead and add one more basic table. And this is going to be my investment. All right, so here I'm going to show how much did I buy, and then we're going to show what was the buy price, and then we're going to show the total investment, and then we're going to show the current value of this investment. Let's go ahead and add one more table, and this is going to be profit and loss. And here we're going to show what is it that we want to show here, profit loss. Okay, in this case we're making a cool profit of $1,200, which is pretty cool. So we have added all of these details, so you can rearrange it if you want it to be in a different sequence. So now we have the detailed section pretty neatly arranged. What we might also want to add is an image. So let's go ahead and do that in the next part. In this section, we're going to see visually how we can improve this a little bit more. So first up, we need a login screen. So I'm going to click this visual section. And now in the appearance, I'm going to choose whichever color that suits my brand. I'm going to choose this specific part of blue. And the app info, if you have any icon for the app, you can go ahead and add it. And if you want to add privacy, right now anybody can use this app and view the details. You want to limit access by sign in, or you might want sign in with an email, or you might want to sign in by password, and so on. So in our case, let's limit access by password and keep a really simple password of 123456. And then sign in screen is going to look like this. Now let's go back to our application. So we've added a home page where someone will log in. So now I want to be able to add a new stock by myself. Now how can I do that? So let's see how you can do that. Here you can add by clicking the add form in the home page and say allow users to add. So plus button comes in, so anybody can now add the specific application. So if you want to quickly test out how this will look, you scroll to the bottom and select play mode and say plus, and this will list out all of the details of your input form. So we don't want users to edit all of them, so let's go ahead and remove things that don't make sense. For example, the profit and loss doesn't make sense as an input, the current value, total investment, buying date makes sense, buy price makes sense, and how much quantity you bought makes sense. Volume, no. Low, no. Current today's high, no. Today's price, no. And the stock details, this makes sense. So these are the 4 details that actually make sense. Now we've added the image in the lookup. Now let's go back to the front end, and here let's map the image to this detail. So let's click edit and select the image, and then choose image from the drop down. Now we have the details added here. Now what we might also want to do is add an image here as well. So let's go ahead and click and search for image in the component in the detail view, and I'm going to add it, drag it to the top of this page. So when someone clicks from the list view to the details view, they'll have this image first and then the relevant information here. So let's go ahead and publish this, and I'm publishing this app, and now the app is now ready for viewing. Let's copy this and paste it in the URL, and that's it. So let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6, continue. So we have the list of elements here, and I'm going to add a new entry. I'm going to choose Meta. I bought 50 of Meta at the price 3456. I'm going to go ahead and choose OK, and I'm going to click add, and one more Meta element has been added here. And if I go into the details of any particular stock that I bought, I see the image, I see the current market information, I see what is my investment detail and what is the current profit or loss specific to this specific investment. So hopefully that has given you a good overview of what is possible using no-code tools and how quickly you can create an app using Glide apps. Finally, before you leave, for those of you who are inspired and interested, I urge you to go ahead, explore and learn no-code tools yourself. But there's another quicker option. I run a 4-week bootcamp, a cohort-based session for non-technical entrepreneurs to learn to build using no-code. This means we will come together for 4 weeks, only on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, 2 hours in a Saturday, 2 hours in a Sunday for 4 weeks, and we will learn about no-code tool development. We will start by understanding the fundamentals of no-code tool development. We will then build a simple landing page and then learn about creating a sales funnel and email automation. Next, we'll understand about databases. Specifically, we'll understand about Airtable, and then we'll see how you can integrate Airtable and the front-end application called Software and create directory websites like Zomato or Foodpanda or Facebook Marketplace. And then we'll see how to add payments so that you can start selling products through your application very easily through Stripe integration. Let's say you want to build a membership site. You want to build a user login flow so that only registered users can access your site. We will learn how to do that and how to control access to different pages and different components in your website. And for those who want to build mobile applications, we look at how to create native mobile applications for iOS and Android using both Glide and Adalo. We'll also see how to create a hybrid application using these two tools. Finally, we'll see how to integrate with Google Analytics and Hotjar to observe user sessions and update your website based on user data. We'll also see how to run A/B tests using Google Optimize. At the end of this session, the goal is to equip you with enough knowledge so that you'll be able to think of an idea and build your own application. So once you register for the cohort, every member of the cohort is going to get their own unique landing page where you will be able to access the various no-code tools, access the program calendar, and also access the recordings of the session anytime you want. So if in case you're not able to make it for a specific session, all of these sessions are recorded and uploaded so that you can catch up anytime you want. In addition, you also get access to premium Slack community where you will be able to interact with your peers and learn from them and contribute and learn collectively. Additionally, you'll also be able to get video-based support. So if in your journey, if you encounter any specific use case where you are struggling, just drop us a note and we will give you a Loom video-based explanation of how to overcome that specific problem. We believe that instead of telling you what to do, if we show you exactly what to do, there is better learning. So we're there to handhold you across the finishing line. And in the cohort, we also have co-building power hour, where there'll be 1 hour of building sessions where all of us will get together and start building our own applications together. And one of the number one reasons cohorts are successful across the world are considered to be the best way of learning is because when you have a peer or a support group who learn together, you can search and have accountability buddies who will push you to building and launching your startup idea or your side hustle that you've always wanted to build. Finally, you'll have access to the Zero Club resources. So in Zero Code Club, we have pre-recorded sections that start from ideation. We'll teach you how to ideate, validation, how to validate your idea quickly in the market by building various types of MVPs, and building, where we'll teach you how to build various applications, launching, how do you go to market, how do you market your application, and how do you set up your sales funnel. And finally, we'll talk about growing, which is how to set up analytics to observe users and modify your applications and grow in the market. Those are video lessons which are additional to what you will learn in the live sessions in the cohort to help you in your startup journey. And as members, you'll also get membership benefits like discounts in no-code tools due to partnerships that we have with various no-code companies. So hopefully that has provided you with enough information. So we have the next cohort that is starting soon. For those watching this webinar, and if you enroll immediately, you're going to get the best deal possible to learn the skill of a lifetime. How much do programs like this typically cost? Now, there are programs, similar programs are priced at £750 or $850. And do check out how much it is priced at Zero Code Club. And the reason we are pricing it that way is not because our courses are any less, but because I want to make zero code development, no code development democratic and more accessible to as many people as possible. And what are some of the feedback that we have got from our early users? And we also have first cohort members talking about the benefits of the session. If not otherwise, feel free to create a free account with Zero Code Club and start learning by yourself. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop an email at kamal@ZeroCodeClub or create a free account with Zero Code Club, join a Facebook group or Slack group, and subscribe to a YouTube channel to learn no-code development for free as well. Thank you for listening and hope to see you on the bootcamp soon.